My goodness. I just watched Sinners, right? I just watched Sinners, the film, like a few minutes ago, and I've been putting it off for quite a while now because if you know me, you'd know that I do not like to watch, listen to, or really just like generally speaking, consume any kind of media that is like really, really popular or that is trending. That's just I do not do that. Yeah, I normally just wait for the hype to die down and then I go and watch it if I feel inspired or feel called to watch it or consume it, you know what I mean? And I don't think the hype for Sinners has died down, but I think now it's a little bit like it's not as well, everybody is talking about it right now because of the Oscars and stuff, but not like before. Does that make sense? Not like before. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm now ready to watch it. I just like randomly decided I'm now gonna watch it and see what's up with that, right? And I went ahead and watched it, and I'm not trying to exaggerate anything, but I feel like watching that film just reinvigorated my passion and love for acting. And if you've been here on this channel for a while, you'll know that I'm an actor, right? I'm an actor. Been doing that for I think it's more than 10 years now, right? More than 10 years since I was 6 years old. And obviously there's this thing called responsibility where we are artists, right? And I'm gonna speak about myself right now. I'm gonna speak for myself. We are artists. I'm an actor, to be specific. And there's always this when you're an artist, there's always this thing where you're like, there's something that you have, a talent or something that you're passionate about, making art. It doesn't matter what life, or it doesn't matter what art we might be talking about, but in my case that's acting, right? And that's what you want to do, that's what you love, that's what you're passionate about. But there's also this thing called reality and paying bills. And if you're an artist, you would know this. It's like you want to do this thing that you really love and that you're passionate about, but also you can't really do it, right? You can't really do it because finances, you have to mature, you have to be responsible for yourself, and you have to work. Yeah, right, you have to work and have a job and make a living for yourself. And most of us, we are in a point where our art cannot make that yet, you know. We're not at a point where we can do what we love and what we're passionate about right now and still be able to make a living off of that. So we just kind of like, I don't want to say abandon, I don't think that's the right word, but I think we just like put the things that we love and the things that we are passionate about to the side, and we're like, you know what, I really love this thing, this is what I'm passionate about, but also I've been doing it for years now, and there isn't really much that has come out of that. And for that reason, I'm not gonna abandon it, but I'm gonna put it to the side for a little bit so that I can focus on paying the bills, you know what I mean? And that is the case. That's been the case for me. And with acting, it's this thing where I kind of like take a break from and go do other things and do things that I'm supposed to do, real life responsibilities. But then I get pulled back into it again, and I do it for a while, and then I go back into the real world again and do that. It's not like me doing acting and being a part of that, and being creative isn't a part of real life, or being a part or a part of the real world. It is, but I think you know what I mean when I say that. And yeah, it's just been something that I've been doing very on and off and on off and on and off, because again, I have to pay the bills and survive, you know what I mean? But me watching Sinners, again, I do not want to exaggerate anything, but I think me watching it literally just reinvigorated my passion and love for acting. Not that I stopped loving it, I never stopped acting, and nor will I ever stop loving it or being really passionate about it. But I feel like that spark was kind of like dimming a little bit, because again, I'm not focusing on that. I haven't been in an acting class for what feels like forever. I'm not reading scripts as often as I normally do, or practicing my craft and really focusing on anything of that matter when it comes to the craft and the industry and all that kind of stuff, because again, I have to work and I have to make money and pay the bills, so I'm not really focusing on any of that right now. But today I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna watch Sinners, because why not? And I just did, and again, I just feel this burning passion and this burning love for the craft again. It just reminds me why acting is important. It just reminded me why film is important and why telling stories is important, you know what I mean? And something that really just makes my blood boil is when people think, or when people think that art, making music, writing poetry, writing books, making films, painting, it doesn't matter what it is, just like art in general, it's just like about art and making all these beautiful things, and it's just about the aesthetics of it all, and that's it. It's just like makes my blood boil. It's just not about pretty music and pictures and all this stuff. It's like, no dude, it's way deeper than that. Art is deeper than that, and I do not want to get too political, but art is political. It is political, you know what I mean? It is political, whether you agree with it or not. It is indeed political, whether you agree with it or not, you know what I mean? It is, at its core, it is, whether you understand it or not, or whether you're always able to see that perspective or not. It is, at its core, art is political if you look deep enough, if you look carefully. It is. Again, I'm not trying to talk about politics right now, but what I'm just trying to get at is art is just more than that. And I just don't like people making it, just like minimizing it and making it about just pretty pictures and imagery and music and sounds and how it looks and all these things. And it's like, yeah, that's beautiful and that's important, but I think it's way deeper than that. And me watching Sinners just reminded me how much storytelling is just so freaking important. It just reminded me what pulled me into acting in the first place and what attracted me to the craft in the first place. And I know that I've done episodes talking about the craft and why it's important and why I feel like everyone should take an acting class and all these things, or just try to be creative. It doesn't matter what it is, just like try to push yourself to be creative and do something creative, because it always does something to you. It always does something to your soul, you know what I mean? It's just not about creating these beautiful things, it's storytelling, and storytelling is more than that. That's what we live for, you know what I mean? That's what we humans live for. And watching Sinners just like reminded me, like, damn, this is why we do this, this is why we actors want to be a part of this, want to be a part of these stories. This is why we actors do what we do. This is what we artists in general, it doesn't matter what art form you're part of, this is why we do this, or this is why we want to be a part of art like this, you know what I mean? That's what it's about. And if you haven't watched it, please go watch it. You're missing out. Yes, you are missing out, And to the people who have watched the film and they just like, again, try to minimize it and bring it down to it simply being just a movie about freaking vampires, like, dude, no, shut the hell up. It's not just a film about vampires. It's deeper than that. It's way deeper than that. And I'm not trying to get into all the details and all of it. I'm not trying to give any spoilers, but go watch it. I think that you should watch it, most especially if you're black. I don't think it's only a movie for black people. I mean, you can watch it if you want. It doesn't matter what race you are, but I think most especially if you're black, I think it's something that you should watch. You have to. It's a must. You know what I mean? It's a must. And again, it just reminded me, like, oh God, the way that it made me feel, the way that it put me in this place where I was able to like self-reflect and also educate myself about certain things and certain topics that I didn't know about, and certain topics that I wasn't educated on, and all these kind of things, because I'm the kind of person whom every single time I listen to a song or I read something, a book, or I watch a film, I like to do my own research. You know what I mean? I want to see who directed it. Of course, we know Ryan Coogler is the one who directed the film. We all know that. But I just like to know where that came from, the ideas, and what this means, what this scene means, and just like getting all the details. You know what I mean? I just trying to do the best that I possibly can to understand where those ideas came from, or why certain things were done the way that they were done, or the meaning behind every single thing. You know what I mean? I am that kind of person who likes to dig deep into every single thing that I consume, and that's what it's about. You know what I mean? Art is about that. It's just not only about entertaining, it's more than that. It's about educating people, it's about inspiring people. You know what I mean? That's all it's about. And I'm making this to just like not only to be a reminder to myself, but also to you who's listening to this, to know that art is more than that. It's more than the pretty pictures and the beautiful melodies and sounds. It's way, way deeper than that. And it's just like, God, again, it just lit up this fire back again. I feel like this spark, I feel my spark burning again, brighter and brighter, and and way hotter than before, because I'm like, I kind of forgot about it. I mean, I didn't really forget about my craft and my talent or acting and anything like that, but I just feel like me watching that just like reminded me, damn, like this is your roots. You know what I mean? Like, you need to get back to it. And it's not like I have any time to get back to it right now, because man, I have to focus on work, but because I have to make a living. But God, it just reminded me, like, damn, I'm just gonna try the best that I possibly can to at least watch as many movies as I possibly can. And I know I'm not in a place where I'll be able to like I guess watch that many movies like I normally would, or I guess take an acting class. But I think it's just like a reminder for me to get back to it, watch as many films as I possibly can, read the scripts, and watch as many actors roundtables and all that kind of stuff. And also, I guess, I mean, I know I'm not in a point where I can go back to doing acting classes right now or practicing that more, but just like staying in touch with that part of myself. You know what I mean? And again, I do not want to make this episode long, but again, it's just a reminder, not only to me but to you. First thing first, if you haven't watched Sinners, go ahead and watch it. And second thing is, art is more than just entertainment. It's more than that. You know what I mean? It's more than that. And it's art like this, it's films like this, it's films like Sinners that remind us why we do what we do. You know what I mean? It's so easy to get in this world trying to make a living for yourself that you even forget what lights up your soul. You know what I mean? And me watching a film like Sinners just like reinvigorated that for me, and that burning passion that I have for the craft. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's all I have to say for today's episode. If that sounds like something that you're into, like and subscribe, join the family, and I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. And that's it.